extraordinary. The first half tonight, 16 efforts for Manchester United and none for Rochdale, but in the second half a much more even contest. Ended up 13 attempts for United and 6 for Rochdale and a goal apiece. The penalties are going to be taken in front of the Stretford end, and Juan Mata is going to go first for Manchester United. It's a situation in which heroes are there to be made, and the two goalkeepers will have a big part to play in that. Sergio Romero, much more experienced than his opposite number, Robert Sanchez, the 21-year-old rookie goalkeeper on loan from Brighton, who's made less than 3 dozen appearances in his career. A touching moment there in front of the officials as Sanchez and Romero embrace, both knowing exactly what the other is going through. Juan Mata will prepare to take the first penalty. You're listening to TalkSport and TalkSport 2 with me, Jim Proudfoot, and Mickey Gray, live from Old Trafford. Only the second ever meeting between Manchester United and Rochdale. The first ended up in a comfortable United win. This one, anything but. They might yet make it through, but it's a night that Rochdale fans will always remember. They held Manchester United over 90 minutes here at Old Trafford. Well, Robert Sanchez is in no hurry to take his place between the sticks at the Stretford end. Juan Mata has spotted the ball down and is waiting patiently. It's going to be a 4-step run-up for the left footer here for Manchester United. And can he strike first? Sanchez just bounces up and down on his line, touches the bar. He's not allowed to do that anymore. He's just reminded of that by the referee. Mata hits it left-footed and sends him the wrong way. And the first penalty in the shootout successfully converted.
Experienced player, sending Juan Mata up first. Lots of confidence. I have to say, Sanchez made him wait a long time in front of the Stretford end to take that penalty. But he kept his calm. Super finish, sends the keeper the wrong way.
Calvin Andrew has played in the 4th round of the League Cup before, some 12 years ago for Luton Town. Can he help Rochdale get there this time around? He's going first, the experienced striker for Rochdale. Left-footed run-up from him, and it's not the best penalty, but it's in. He didn't hit it quite hard enough by the look of it initially, but it bobbled in off the inside of the post under the grasp of Romero. And after a penalty apiece it is, one apiece. Pereira goes next.
Yeah, got quite fortunate there, Andrew, but look, he kept it low, got enough pace on it, and it was just enough pace to get underneath Romero's arm. 1-1.
Andreas Pereira is 23 years of age. Waits on the edge of the penalty area, hands on his hips, he runs up, first right-footed to take one in the shootout, and that's another excellent penalty. As Sanchez dived to his right, Pereira waited for him to make the move and then fired it past him. And all 3 penalties have been successfully converted so far. It is 2-1. And next up, it's the Irishman pressed into emergency centre-back action tonight, Jimmy Keohane. He won the Irish Cup in his days with Cork City. And can he equalise in the shootout to make it 2-2 after 2 apiece? Pacey run up, and it is saved by Romero. Diving to his right-hand side. He got the direction right, but he didn't get the pace in the penalty. Romero tips it around the post. It's advantage Manchester United.
Well, I mean, it's a good save from Romero, he just jumps across to his right-hand side there. And Keohane didn't really look too confident as he stepped up to take that penalty. Unfortunately for him, I think he just scuffed it a little bit. It was bouncing towards the goal. Take nothing away from the save from Romero. Very good save.
Next up, Fred against Robert Sanchez. A stuttering run-up from the Brazilian, and he's just got it past Sanchez's despairing left hand. And it is 3-1 now, and penalties to Manchester United. Rochdale with a penalty in hand, but still advantage to Solskjaer's men.
Well, first time surprised me as well. Fred actually finding the target. I think he didn't really do that too many times in the game, did he, to be honest with you? But it was a very good penalty. Put it right into the side net and give Sanchez no chance.
Another one of the Rochdale youngsters, Aaron Morley. Just 19 years old. That is a brilliant penalty under pressure. He sent Romero the wrong way, and Romero just nodded his head in appreciation of the job well done under pressure. So 3 penalties each, and it's 3-2 to United. Mason Greenwood will stride forward next, and this to put Manchester United 1 away. He takes the ball in his right hand and then just brings his left hand towards the ball, deliberately spots it down, takes 4-5 steps back. Greenwood to hit this right-footed. He scored in 90 minutes and he scores in the shootout as well. And Manchester United are nearly there. Wilbraham has to score to keep Rochdale in it.
Yeah, and as he's walking up, Wilbraham here, bit of a stride on. I think he wants to get this penalty out the way as quickly as he possibly can. But Greenwood there, very good penalty, nice and confident with his right foot into the side netting. And he as an individual, he does actually look confident when he's in that 18-yard box. He looks like a goal scorer.
Aaron Wilbraham has scored more than 140 goals in a 20-year senior career. He hits it right-footed and keeps his nerve, and Rochdale is still alive. But if Manchester United score the next one, they are through. And it's Daniel James who makes his way forward. Doesn't engage with Wilbraham, walking back past him the other way. James has had such an excellent start to his Manchester United career, and he has the chance here to put them into the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. One youngster against another. It's James against Sanchez. He fires it past him. It's a roar of tangible relief from the Manchester United fans. Not the best penalty, but he hit the back of the net, and that was all that mattered. A night when the only positive that United can really take was the result. Levels of performance, not what they might have been. Made to go all the way by League One Rochdale, but Manchester United win it 5-3 on penalties, Mickey.
Well, the first word that springs to mind is relief. I think you could see that on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's face as the camera just panned in on him. But it wasn't a good performance. How much do you want me to criticise Manchester United? But some of those players out there this evening, Jim, and I know they've got to make changes and give these youngsters an opportunity, but they're just clearly not good enough for a club like this. But a positive from this game is everything about Rochdale. Their performance, the effort that the individual players put into this game was absolutely sensational. Deserved to get themselves back on level terms. I was thrilled to pieces that Matheson was the individual who actually got that equalising goal. But Brian Barry Murphy will be thrilled to pieces with his players tonight. What a performance, what a show they put on. A League One side who came into this competition, they've had some decent results, but nobody would have given them an opportunity to come into Old Trafford tonight. But from start to finish, they have given absolutely everything. Their supporters have stuck by them throughout the whole of the game. And when it goes to penalties, yes, it's a lottery. And you have to feel for Keohane. He was the unfortunate one to miss the penalty this evening. But look, nobody's going to point the finger and nobody's going to criticise any individual player from Rochdale this evening. Top draw. And Man United can be very, very fortunate to find themselves in the next round of the Carabao Cup.
Rochdale once lost an FA Cup tie to FC United of Manchester. Against the real Manchester United, they gave a much better account of themselves 9 years on. Ultimately, it ends in defeat. You would hope, as a neutral, that it is a foundation for a successful League One campaign for a young side who play the right way, and they've got some prodigiously talented teenagers there. But the bottom line is that 4 Premier League sides have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup tonight, and Manchester United aren't one of them. Manchester United 1, Rochdale 1. United win 5-3 on penalties.
Thanks to Jim Proudfoot and Mickey Gray, who are on commentary duty for tonight's epic Manchester United Rochdale Carabao Cup tie here on TalkSport 2. What a night. Drama at Old Trafford, but drama all around the country. Tonight's Carabao Cup ties have been a wonderful reminder that money, reputation can be undone by passion, determination. The underdogs can win, or they can make things very, very difficult for top-flight clubs. It was quite a scare for Manchester United. League One Rochdale, well done. Belief, effort, attitude, commitment. For Manchester United, their problems are mounting up. Aston Villa 3-1 winners at Brighton. Burton Albion at it again, quarter-finals last year. League One Burton Albion have knocked out Premier League Bournemouth. No problem for Chelsea, who beat League Two Grimsby 7-1. Liverpool 2-0 winners away at League One MK Dons. Oxford United of League One beaten West Ham United of the Premier League 4-0. Premier League Sheffield United beaten at home by League One Sunderland, 0-0. Wolves 1, Reading 1. Premier League Wolves went through on penalties, and Manchester United 1, Rochdale 1. Jim Proudfoot, Mickey Gray, the alarm bells are deafening at Old Trafford, surely. I know they've won, I know they've gone through, but this isn't what anyone is expecting for Manchester United.
The situation that United are in, I think that in a funny kind of way they will be forgiven for various things, providing that the blueprint is there for what they want to do for the future. And that is that they're having to rebuild. I know that they've been in transition seemingly for a good few seasons now. They're still a long way short of where they need to be able to compete winning for the league title with Liverpool and Manchester City. You could argue that they're some way short of a couple of other clubs as well. But if they're producing youngsters who are capable of playing first-team football and building for the future, I think that they will be forgiven a lot. And that's the most worrying aspect of tonight's performance, is that some of the youngsters who they're going to have to try and show some faith in maybe aren't up to the mark. Now, that might sound like a harsh judgment on the face of 90 minutes against a cup tie, in a cup tie against a side who've got nothing to lose, but I think that will be a concern. I was chatting to Don McGuinness, Ray, before the game, and he reminded me of a cup tie here against Coventry in this competition 12 years ago this week, where Ian Dowie's Sky Blues beat Manchester United. And some of the levels of performance from some of those United players was such that some of them never saw the light of day again in the first team shirt for Manchester United. And the same was true when they lost 4-0 at Milton Keynes Dons. The likes of Sadie Yanko, who played that night, never saw the light of day again. I don't think this is quite as bad for Manchester United, but the precedent has been set in United's past that when you give youngsters opportunities, they have to take them. And if they show that they can't, then it's easy to be very quickly written off at this club. Even though there is a reliance on youngsters and they've got the history of being able to bring them through, I think some of them just didn't look up to it. And some of the senior players, I would also say, really didn't look up to it. They played at a level where you would think that they can't possibly be considered for selection against Arsenal on Monday night.
Jim, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Some of the individual players, and I'll be blunt about it, they're not good enough. They're really not good enough to play for a club like Manchester United. Look, I'm all for giving youngsters an opportunity, and I think it's incredible when you come through the academy and you get that chance to play for a club like Manchester United. But from what I've seen, and it's not just tonight, I've seen people like, and we're talking about a quality Manchester United team here, if they had one. Pereira doesn't get anywhere near the first team. He just clearly doesn't. He's not good enough.
And he started 4 of the 6 league games this season.
He's a mid-table Premier League footballer at best, and that is giving him a compliment. Chong, I've seen tonight, yes, he's young and he's got time to adapt and maybe even get better, but from what I've seen tonight, he's clearly not good enough. And there's other individuals. I mean, Fred shouldn't get anywhere near a first team at Manchester United. You've got players still playing. I know he went off injured tonight, but people like Phil Jones, their time's been at Manchester United. Jesse Lingard, we talk about assists and goals. Does he give enough to this side like Manchester United? No, they don't. You look at the bench. Are any of those younger players on the bench, are they going to be good enough to play for a team like Manchester United? I just think that this squad of players that they've got is a country mile away from competing anywhere near the top 6 in the Premier League.
Thanks to Mickey Gray and Jim Proudfoot, who guided us through tonight's epic game at Old Trafford, and Manchester United have gone through. Wasn't straightforward though. Manchester United, English champions for a record 20 times. 12 times FA Cup winners, 5 times League Cup winners, European champions. On 3 occasions they announced record financial figures of earning £600 million a year a few days ago. But it's not what's in the bank, it's what happens on the pitch that matters. And League One Rochdale, who have never played in the top flight of English football, gave Manchester United a massive scare tonight. Rochdale's natural habitat's been in the low leagues. Financially, they're light years behind Manchester United, but football's facts of life are, whatever the rules of the day, the figures that matter are those on the score sheet. In League One, Rochdale held mighty Manchester United, and Manchester United went through on penalties. The club that dominated English football for so long, searching for a winning formula right now, but the alarm bells are ringing at Old Trafford. The draw for the 4th round of the Carabao Cup is about to take place. You can hear that draw here on TalkSport 2 as we join our colleagues from Sky Sports.
Runners-up in 1977 and 1984.
Any Liverpool fans in here?
Don't start booing already.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Watford. They beat Swansea 2-1 last night.
Next up, we have number 4.
Number 4 is Aston Villa, 5 times winners of the competition.
And they are going to have the pleasure of playing number 1.
Number 1 is Wolverhampton Wanderers, 2 times winners. I'm enjoying this. It's like Kanto, isn't it?
Next up is number 9.
Number 9 is Manchester City, the current holders. They won the League Cup.
Could have been worse, Wolves fans. Number 7.
And they will play number 7, Southampton, who lost out to Manchester United in the 2017 final.
Next up, we have number 8.
Number 8 is Burton, semi-finalists last season. They had that floodlight failure tonight at the Pirelli Stadium, but eventually progressed through.
They're playing number 12.
Playing number 12, Leicester, 3 times winners, last time in 2000. Midlands Derby.
Number 16.
Number 16 is Crawley Town, knocked out Championship Stoke last night.
Gotta be kind for Crawley. The reward is number 6.
Number 6, Colchester, knocked out Spurs last night.
Dear. I'm sorry.
Next up, number 13.
Number 13 is Chelsea, beat Spurs in the 2015 final. Big win for them this evening as well. Huge scoreline.
Number 11.
And they will play number 11, Manchester United, 5 times.
Now you're talking. Now they like me.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Oxford, winners in 1986. 4-0 tonight against West Ham.
Number 5.
And they will play number 5, Sunderland. Oof. Lost to Man City in the 2014 final.
And last up, we have number 10.
And number 10 is Liverpool.
Who's left?
Record
Do we know?
winners. I think you know who it's going to be, don't you?
Number 15.
Number 15, of course, is Arsenal, beaten finalists 3 times since 2007. Their last win was in 1993. What a big fixture that is.
He only left me with that one. Sorry.
I mean, let's react upon that one. That'll be a good game, won't it, Andrew?
It should be decent. Yeah, should be half. The team selections will be very interesting.
Okay, so just confirmation of these ties then in round 4, and they're going to be played at the week beginning the 28th of October. Everton versus Watford, Aston Villa versus Wolves, Manchester City versus Southampton, Burton versus Leicester, Crawley versus Colchester, Chelsea versus Manchester United, Oxford versus Sunderland, and Liverpool versus Arsenal.
TalkSport's very own Laura Woods there, rounding up the Carabao Cup 4th round draw. You're listening to TalkSport 2 with me, Harry Maynard. Next up, it's TalkSport 2 Tonight.
TalkSport 2 Live. Unpack every sizzling second of the latest Premier League action with Motty's Hot or Not on TalkSport with Google Nest. Listen to Hawksby and Jacobs every Monday afternoon from 1 as they're joined by the legendary John Motson with his pick of the weekend's pivotal performances. Who's on fire?
It's into the top corner!
And who's leaving the fans cold?
It's an own goal!
Motty's Hot or Not on TalkSport with Google Nest. In the trade, help your business grow this winter with Google Nest Learning Thermostat and Thermostat E. Visit g.co/nest/pro.
Finding your perfect new home can be tough. So if you keep missing out,
it's time to search out.
There are thousands of new properties to buy or rent every month at onthemarket.com. 24 hours or more before they're on Rightmove or Zoopla. See them first. Set up a property alert today.
Search onthemarket.com to find your perfect home.
If you're in the market, search onthemarket.com. See onthemarket.com/new and exclusive. Agents specify exclusivity.
Did you get the milk?
The Audi Q7 and the Audi Q8 for the Epic, or the everyday. Now with an extra £1,000 towards your finance until 30th of September at 6.6% APR representative, only at your local Audi centre. Audi, Vorsprung durch Technik. With Solutions Personal Contract Plan, 18s and over, registered by 30th of September 2019, £1,000 available on selected model year 2019 stock vehicles only, subject to status. Indemnities may be required. Audi Financial Services, visit audi.co.uk.
Wedged and Wolf. So you think you're the bee's knees at comparing deals? Comparing is good. But are you comparing apples with apples? It's important to remember that you won't find direct line on comparison sites. So be sure to check with my guys. you'll see that Direct Line could offer you better deals than folks on there.
Come direct and you could save. Can your car insurance do that? Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Will the retirement you get be the retirement you want? Check your state pension and see how you can build on it with a workplace or other pension. To know your pension at yourpension.gov.uk.
At Experian.co.uk, we know being single's no fun. That's why we do everything we can to help you meet your ideal match, your data self.
Until I met my data self, I had no idea which credit card was right for me. He was able to show me the ones I was eligible for before I even applied. It really has changed my life.
Find out how your data self could help you make better financial decisions at Experian.co.uk. Experian Limited is a credit broker, not a lender, working with selected lenders.
Need to get your chocolate fix, like, now? Simply press the dashboard chocolate button to zap the chocolate of your choice right into your hand.
A dashboard chocolate button chocolate teleporter will never happen. But with a new BP Me Rewards card, getting more of the treats you love more often will. Search BP Me Rewards to find out more. BP, every day brighter.
Mr. Davis, to start your car insurance policy, you'll have to pay upfront £850 for the year in one single payment. How does that sound?
£850?
Yes, Mr. Davis.
In one go?
Yes, Mr. Davis.
Today?
Yes, Mr. Davis.
In one single payment?
Yes, Mr. Davis.
What?
With new Aviva Plus, we won't ask you to pay everything up front. Everyone pays monthly at no extra cost. New Aviva Plus, car insurance the way it should be. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Witchton Wolf here. And there goes another new kid with his shiny new van. You'd bet that chump's the only one getting the special treatment. Well, that's where you're wrong, wise guy. With Direct Line, tradesmen can get 10% off their van insurance when they already have tradesmen cover, whether they're new to the game like Hot Wheels over there or a loyal customer, like you. And I like guys like you.
10% multi-product discount with Direct Line for Business. Can your business insurance do that? Minimum premiums apply. Introductory discount. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
You probably don't think you can afford a better van, right? You probably haven't seen the latest offers from these guys then.
What's that coming over the hill, Van Monster?
At Van Monster, you can choose from hundreds of top-quality, affordable used vans, like Ford Transit Customs for $7,995 or less. They all come with a free 6-month warranty, flexible finance, and nationwide delivery too. See vanmonster.com to find out more. Conditions apply.
Game day this Saturday.
Sheffield United versus Liverpool. Kick-off 12:30 on TalkSport.
Official broadcast partner of the Premier League. TalkSport 2 tonight. On DAB Digital Radio. Online and via the TalkSport app. This is TalkSport 2 tonight.
You're listening to TalkSport 2 tonight. I'm Harry Maynard, and these are the top stories. In the Carabao Cup, there were wins for Liverpool and Chelsea. However, West Ham were dumped out by League One Oxford United, and Manchester United needed penalties to beat Rochdale. Former England winger Trevor Sinclair has warned Tottenham they'll have to start winning trophies soon. That's if they don't want Harry Kane to leave. And Derby County players Mason Bennett and Tom Lawrence have both been charged with drink driving after a crash on Tuesday night. On DAB Radio, online and via the free TalkSport app, you're listening to TalkSport 2 tonight. England's second row Joe Launchbury has dismissed fears they've rotated their squad too much for Thursday's Rugby World Cup match against the USA. England have made 10 changes from the side which beat Tonga. Launchbury's sure England will still perform at their best.
The way we train, we chop and change sort of formations and personnel quite often, so we get pretty used to playing with different combinations. So in the forward pack would scrum and operate in the line-up with a variety of different people from week to week, so we're ready for scenarios like this. So yeah, really excited with the opportunity and the team tomorrow. I think it's it's a great stage for some guys to play on, sometimes the first time in a World Cup, so that brings added excitement for some of the guys as well.
England second row Joe Launchbury will have extended updates of England against the USA in the Rugby World Cup on Thursday morning here on TalkSport 2. Russ Hargreaves will be alongside the former England captain Chris Robshaw. Kickoff is at 11:45. Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn has told TalkSport that the only thing that can stop him is Joshua himself as he prepares to face Andy Ruiz in a rematch in December. Joshua lost all his belts as he suffered his first professional defeat to the Mexican back in June. Hearn was alongside lightweight boxer Devin Haney on the Sports Breakfast and says Joshua's mentality is key to how successful he becomes.
I'm always nervous when AJ fights because he's inexperienced as a professional. So he's had 23 fights. Devin's had more fights than Anthony Joshua, right? And he's 20.
No,
so,
I had 23 fights. Joshua has 23 fights.
All right, mate. Okay. I prefer 24. And it sounds better. I'm a promoter.
24 November.
Yeah, I always exaggerate. I'm just taking into account your next win in November. Leave me alone. But so even as an amateur, he had 40 fights. Joshua. He won Olympic gold. So he's always been learning on the job. That's why he's so exciting, because when he boxed Klitschko, he was well out of his league in terms of experience and all that. So now he slipped up against Andy Ruiz.
How's Ruiz going to prepare for this?
Well, hopefully he's going to eat a lot and not train very hard.
Well, that's what he done last time.
But it seemed to work for him.
Exactly.
But I just think Ruiz is a dangerous guy.
Did he underestimate him?
Yeah, I think so. Not intentionally.
No.
But when you're going into every interview saying, when you fight in Wilder, obviously you're going to beat Andy Ruiz. Yeah. So Joshua went in. Wilder just knocked out Brazil a couple of weeks before. Joshua's thinking, I need a showreel knockout.
Yeah.
Sticks him over in the third round, then goes, right, here we go. Walks forward, bang, one punch changes, can change your career. I mean, that's as dangerous as it is. So right now he's focused. We've still got 10 weeks this Saturday. So he's in a good place. It's going to be a very difficult fight. The whole world is going to be watching. You know, like in the days of Thriller in Manila and Rumble in the Jungle, this is, well, I think, again, he's 24 fights. He would have lost to one man, and he was the double unified world heavyweight champion. So it's very difficult to say. People say, he's finished if he loses this. Basically, he's finished when he wants to finish. If you've still got the desire to fight. But it's one of those sports where Marvin Hagler had a great quote where he said, it's very difficult to wake up and do your morning runs when you're wearing silk pyjamas. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, and I think that's such a great quote, because this sport is the toughest sport in the world, bar none. And what makes you a great fighter is that hunger and that drive. When you've got loads of money in the bank and you've got the big houses.
So what are you doing here, Al?
Yeah, I mean, but
that's going to sell that every day.
He's got silk pyjamas.
He's wearing them now. But Joshua's still got that hunger. That's why I respect people like Floyd Mayweather. Because all the money in the world, yet still you see him on the roads in Vegas at 3 a.m. doing his 10-miler, and that's the drive of a champion. And you can't lose that. If you've always got that in you, doesn't matter if it's in business, in sport, in anything. If you've got that relentless drive, you're unbeatable if you've got the ability. That's the difference between those who are that create their own legacy and the ones that just slip away. How many times have you seen a young footballer growing up and you said, God, he was unbelievable, that guy. He was the one we all thought was going to be the star. And you never heard of him now. Now he's, don't know what he's doing. So that's the difference.
Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn speaking with TalkSport. UEFA has announced that its third club competition, which starts in 2021, will be called the Europa Conference League. The new 32-team tournament will sit below the Champions and Europa Leagues. The Sun's chief sports reporter Martin Lipton told TalkSport that the new tournament will make the Carabao Cup redundant.
One of the biggest arguments by the Premier League clubs against the proposals is the damage it would do to the League Cup, because they wouldn't be able to take part in it.
Sure.
Why would any major club now want to take part in the League Cup, given the prize for winning it is to play in the third-tier competition, which starts in 2021? That's it. That is the seventh English place in Europe goes into the least important competition, which is worth buttons. They're going to lose money by playing in it.
Is this a new competition?
This is one they're introducing from 2021.
Honestly, talk about greed. I mean, again, really.
Well, the idea is to try and get money for the smaller nations, because they wouldn't be involved. But Wolves, who were nominally the League Cup winners because they took the place that City would have had for seventh in the Premier League, would be playing against Maribor and the third team in the Irish League, and they're going to make no money out of it. It's going to be pointless. And also, why would they want to win the competition if that's the prize? It's a booby prize rather than a real prize.
The Sun's chief sports reporter, Martin Lipton. The former England winger Trevor Sinclair has told TalkSport that Mauricio Pochettino's days at Tottenham could be numbered. Spurs were dumped out of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night by League Two Colchester. The competition was seen as an opportunity for Pochettino to lift his first trophy as manager. Sinclair believes everything that's going on at the club, both on and off the pitch, could lead to the manager walking.
Spurs had 6 internationals playing in that game, so they should have had enough to win the game, but didn't. But looking at the manner that they lost the game, they didn't look hungry. They didn't look like they wanted to put the bodies on the line. And sometimes when you play these lower division sides, you have to match them for that, to have a chance to then show your ability and your class. I don't think Tottenham did that last night, and hence they got beaten. But talking about Mauricio Pochettino, you know, I've heard the fans not happy he's got to go, or, you know, it's gone stale. For me, I go the other way a little bit. I look at it and I think, does the Spurs situation look inevitable? Where is he definitely going to leave? There's going to be a mass exodus of players? I don't think so. Poch doesn't seem his usual happy, slick self. Poor run of performances and results. I think the catalyst for me was last season. You look at that Champions League semi-final performance by Lucas Moura, hat-trick. He should play. He should play. He should start in the final of the Champions League. He doesn't, and I think that's where he may have lost a bit of the dressing room. For me, you know, listen, I coach a group of players. It's a little bit like love. When you're in love, it doesn't matter if you're, you know, a king or queen, or whether you're down there homeless. If you're in love with someone, it still means the same thing. Yeah. Now, with a group of players, if you lose that trust, you lose it. It doesn't matter if it's a Premier League or down in the Northwest League, you lose that trust with your players. And I think he's got to rebuild that. I think the home loss to Newcastle was really poor. Leicester loss after winning that game, after being in the lead in that game, was poor. And the fact that they've not won an away Premier League game for almost a year is a huge problem for a team of Tottenham's stature. I think you look at the Ericsson and Toby Alderweireld situation, where their contract situations look to be breaking down with Daniel Levy. Is there any silverware in sight for the football club? I don't see that. But
do you think they'll win anything this season, Trevor?
I don't think they will. But although they've got huge problems and there's the dressing room must be affected, I think Mauricio Pochettino will turn it around. I think, and I hope he does. The reason why I think this is, and if anybody's seen this speech after the semi-final win, where he was very emotional about the achievement of his players, it just shows you that he's a genuine guy. He cares about the football club. He cares about the players. He cares about the fans. And he's a loyal man. And I think he's a great leader of men. And I think people are talking, he's going to go to Manchester United. He's going to go to Real Madrid. I think he'll prove his worth, and he'll rally the troops, and he'll turn things around at Tottenham Hotspur.
So in time.
It will take time.
And what you're saying, lay off him, everyone.
Oh, listen, he understands the pressures of the job. You know, it's a job where if you're not getting wins, if you're not getting results, if you're not getting performances, you're gonna be criticised. So I wouldn't say he's saying that. All he's saying, and the soundbite reflects that, he's saying,
Twansibi, most of the time, was sweeping up. And considering Wan-Bissaka had a bad game as well, he had a lot of work to do, Twansibi, tonight, and the captain's armband. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And on a game where there's very few positives, I thought he was fantastic tonight. So smash a like on the video of him. Andres Pereira, 5. He's just not doing it, is he? And I know he's not as experienced as a Pogba or a Lingard, but he's been on loan to 2 La Liga clubs. He's not really a youth player anymore. I think he's 23, 24. He ain't doing enough. He's got a good set piece delivery, but other than that, he ain't doing enough, is he? So I'm not over the moon. I'm not over the moon with that. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager again. You've got to give him a 5, haven't you? You've got to give him a 5. It's tactically, I didn't see any improvement. In fact, the scariest thing is I saw a very similar tactical performance to West Ham. The opposition was a little bit worse, so we could get more shots off. But clear-cut chances, we don't create enough. We're going down the width when we've got nothing in the box to get on the end of it. And yeah, Pogba missed a really good chance. We could have maybe scored 3 goals, but Rochdale missed an absolute sitter. I still don't even know how he missed it. That cutback, he's in the 6-yard box, he scuffs it, and Wan-Bissaka clears it off the line. I mean, they should have scored. Rochdale should have had 2 goals, maybe we should have had 3, but it's still not convincing, is it? Brandon Williams, I do want to give him a score. I give him a 7. Let's give him a 7 there. I mean, it was his impetus that got us the goal. I haven't really seen the Rochdale goal enough to know how much at fault he was for it. It was certainly the right back who came in, so you could say it might have been Pereira's fault, to be fair. But I think Brandon Williams, for a young lad, thrown in because Jones was injured, would he have got on normally? I don't know. But you know what? It's very difficult, isn't it? Because everybody with the young players wants to say they're ready. Brandon Williams could be ready, or he might be shit in his next game that he plays. But I thought physically he looks good. He's willing to get into a tackle. He's good at going forward. Yeah, he's very raw. He's very rusty. But I thought he played really well, and I think he looks exciting. And everyone says we need to sign a left back. Well, maybe we don't need to sign a left back. Maybe we've got somebody there who can, sort of give Luke Shaw a bit of a challenge, which everybody knows that he needs. So I was impressed with Brandon Williams. I was impressed with Twansebi, and I was impressed with Greenwood. For me, they were the 3 positives from the game. I don't think anybody else comes out of that game with positives. I thought Rojo and Romero did okay, but they're backup players anyway, and we know they can come in and do a job. But I thought Twansebi, Brandon Williams and Greenwood are the only positives in what really was a really, really bad performance from United. Let's take some of your comments then. Remember, we've got the fan cams coming in. I think Rants is going to go absolutely apeshit, like I say, but we'll look forward to that. Wan-Bissaka should be a 3 tonight at best. He was really bad, says Joe Holdway. Ollie out, says Killian. What about Brandon Williams, says Joskin Alexander? Well, we've just done that. Wan-Bissaka is a great defender, but how is he as a right winger, says David. I think Wan-Bissaka put some good crosses in tonight. I just don't think we've got anyone to get on the end of it. Thanks for the contribution, Adam Taylor. Metal Music Review says at this rate, the whole first team and half the academy will have first team armbands this year. Too many captains. Ryan FDW, these players have failed under at least 2, some even 4 different managers. We just think the players are good because they play for Manchester United. Look, I agree with that, Ryan. Some of these players are shockingly shit, but the tactics don't help either. And the board don't help. Tonight, you could say it's a culmination of all 3. Jamie Johnson, no team fears coming to Old Trafford, spot on. We aren't going to improve until this board jogs on, but who will get the boot first? The manager, of course. Matthew McFadden, hello Matthew, says we're relying on a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old just signed from the Championship to bail us out of games. Banter FC in full force once again. Carabao Cup, this was your funny name for the League Cup, but it is the real name, says Andreas Hansen. What is the hell going on with this bloody defence, says Nicholas Halloran. Metal Music Reviews, I basically had the game as a write-off, never expected a big win, ever the optimist though, good to see youth get time, Williams did alright. Wayne Lewins, thanks for the contribution. I would be Ollie out at this point, but sacking him won't solve our Glazer and Woodward problem, unfortunately, says Glazer's out. Green Grits, I fell in love with Ollie getting the job when things were good. I don't think it was the right decision, but we're passionate fans. Board are supposed to make right decisions and fail yet again. Cobb Ross Aitkins, Rochdale, we can't blame lack of investment for this. It was a good point actually. Russell Thompson, the mental pressure on these boys now is crushing them, playing and managing fearful of failure because of the backlash, big club problems. Yeah, this is where you need strong leadership. I think the players are in fear. I think the manager is playing not to lose as well. It'd be interesting to see what we do at Arsenal. I think he'll play not to lose again. when actually our best chance is to attack. Rich S. Mark, his tactics are shambolic and boring. This team is better than the way we are playing. He has to go, and soon, or this will get worse. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a class defensive, poor offensively, says Tyler. Youth carried the first team, says Matty Jones. Andrew Chow, Mark, thoughts on the next round draws? United away versus Chelsea and Liverpool versus Arsenal. Tough draw for us. Think we will go out against the youth of Chelsea. If I haven't seen the draw, but we're out, mate. We're out. We won't beat Chelsea at Chelsea, so we're out. I'm looking forward to that, though. And Liverpool versus Arsenal. That'll be a good game. 2 good games. Looking forward to those. Joe Holdway, Wan-Bissaka was terrible at fault for the goal. We will face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge next round, says Joskin Alexander. We're out. Trying not to be Ollie out, but I'm going to get close. What do we do? What do we work on in training? We have no structure going forward. Every player takes too many touches. I'm going to talk about that Chelsea thing in a minute. Tyler, thanks for the contribution. Metal Music Reviews. Williams played all right. Good to see him today. Lincoln Jackamney, you lot wanted the youth. Stop whining over your food. And Robbie Lincoln, that comment doesn't make any sense. What's your positive though? You wanted the youth, stop whining over your food. Well, what's good about it? What's the other side to your argument there? Like, the team on Sunday didn't have youth in it and it was shit. So why would we not want to give the youth a game? And Greenwood, Williams and Twansebi were good. So are we not right in wanting the youth? I'm confused by that one, to be honest. And Rodney Francis, is there a manager available that has a black book of quality players that he can call upon in January? If I was playing United, wouldn't interest me, says Rodney Francis. Thanks for those contributions. Please do smash a like on the video, everybody. Fan cams are coming in, so I want to wrap this up very quickly. But look, we are out. We are absolutely